Hello guys, I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to be doing a bit of a kind of story time video. It's not really the kind of video that I usually do. I do kind of chatty updates every so often. This might not be interesting to you at all, but it's something that happened to me last week. Obviously you can see from the title, I basically got, I'm not really sure if it's scammed or if it was like just a horrible joke. I don't really know. And it's not the kind of thing that I would normally talk about on here, but I don't want this kind of thing to happen to anyone else, so I thought if I could share this story, then hopefully it will save at least one of you from going through a similar kind of thing, unless it was just targeted at me, in which case it's probably not going to happen to any of you. So I mentioned this briefly on my Instagram. If you're not following me over there and you want to kind of see what we do more day to day, definitely go over and follow, because I Insta story daily, which is basically like vlogging. If you like my kind of day in the lifestyle videos, then you would hopefully like my Insta stories. And I've basically gone a little bit quiet on there just for like a day or two. And I said on there, you know, someone was basically not very kind to me, and I will be doing an updated video, which is this. I'm going to stop rambling anyway, because otherwise that was lightning. Otherwise this video is going to be very, very long. So basically, as a bit of background, if this is the first video of mine that you're watching, I am a YouTuber, blogger, I hate saying it, but like social media influencer. Basically, like, have an Instagram account, Facebook account, Twitter account, and occasionally I work with brands. So it might be paid collaborations, it might be review collaborations, and something that I've been getting into quite a lot recently is travel. Last year I went away to Turks and Caicos, and it was a review collaboration. So the whole trip was gifted, but it was in exchange for, I think I did like 4 videos, I did a couple of blog posts, loads of pictures, so a lot of work goes into it. So it's not like a free holiday, but obviously it is an amazing collaboration. I did that, and then a little bit later in the year I went to Ibiza. It was a stay at a yoga retreat. I'll leave these video links below if you want to check them out. But yeah, so I've done a little bit of travel, and then at the beginning of this year I had a day, I'm sure it was all in one day, where I got 3 really amazing emails. One of them was for a collaboration that I have checked out, and it is definitely real and it's definitely happening, where I'm going to a few European countries. Yeah, I got that email. And I was so excited. And I got another one which was for like a fitness retreat in the UK. And then I got this email, and it was from who I thought were the Top Villas, which is the name of a legitimate company, asking if I would like to go and review a week's stay in any of their villas. And I thought, oh wow, this is amazing. So I had a look at their villas, and I saw that they had them in like all over the world. So we could have gone to Orlando and done Disney. There was like Barbados, Jamaica, Thailand, loads of lovely places in Europe. And the person said that it would be for my family. And yeah, so I thought to myself like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, this may be my year to kind of make it more as like a travel blogger and YouTuber, and kind of, because it's not that I want to stop doing parenting, because obviously I'm a parent, it's what I do. But I kind of feel like I'm getting more into my interests, and just, I mean, there's only so many times that I can do what's in my changing bag and a teething update and sleep updates. I mean, there's only so much I can talk about as a parent. So I like to kind of branch off into my interests, and I talk a lot about fitness and veganism. So this villa company, I replied and I said, oh, that sounds amazing. I would love to do that. Are there any particular destinations that I should like be choosing from, or will you let me know which one I can go for? She said, no, choose any in the world. When I say it now, I think, well, obviously that's a bit far-fetched. Any in the world for as many people as you like. The ones that are most popular are Jamaica, Barbados, France, and Orlando. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is absolutely amazing. I'm gonna go with my whole family. And so we've got like a little group chat in our family, and I was like, guys, who would like to go and stay in a villa anywhere around the world? Not my treat, because obviously we, like, at that point would have to pay for flights, and obviously it's on the company, not me, and I would be doing work for it and stuff, but I would be kind of like being able to give that to my family in exchange for me doing what I pretty much do when we go on any holiday, which is just filming and taking pictures and stuff like that. And everyone was like, oh yeah, that sounds amazing. So that was that. So I went back to this lady, her name was Jess, and I said, we're looking at Barbados, there's about 10 of us. And she said to me, oh, do you know what, it's probably best if we speak on the phone. just so that we can kind of go through everything. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So we spoke on the phone, and she was lovely, and you know, she was so knowledgeable about everything. She knew lots about the different areas in Barbados and the particular villas that I was looking at, and obviously in hindsight now she's probably just on her computer quickly looking at it maybe. But yeah, she seemed to know a lot about kind of any questions that I had in terms of, well, obviously the answers could have been false, but whether I needed a cot and if we would need car travel and stuff like that. In fact, she even offered on the first phone call, she was like, oh, I'll get you car transfers sorted. She was like, so I'll get you a 7-seater and a 5-seater, because there would have been 10 of us. I feel like I'm going to get a bit waffly with the story. Yeah, basically it would have been myself, my sister, my mum, my dad, my brother and my sister-in-law, so 6 adults, and then my 2 boys, my niece and my nephew. So 6 adults, 4 children. So that was that. My family were so excited. We'd narrowed down dates. Like, the person kept coming back to me and saying, you know, have you decided on dates yet? And have you decided on a villa? And it all just seemed really positive. My brother, sister-in-law and sister booked the time off work. And then I spoke to the villa people again, and we'd chosen kind of 5 villas that we really liked. One was like insane. I mean, they were all amazing, but one of them I was like, probably wouldn't get that, but we'll just say it anyway. And when I spoke to her on the phone, she was like, yeah, you can have that one, that's fine. And you know when things just start to become a little too good to be true? She then said, oh, actually, do you know what? Don't worry about booking flights. We'll book them for you. It's because as a company, they got 75% off flights with Virgin. Saw as quite believable, because I thought travel companies probably do deals with flight companies, so why wouldn't that be true? And you know, in the grand scheme of things, paying for, it would be 9 seats because Jensen would be on my lap, to a huge company, you know, probably isn't that much to them. But this is kind of how I was justifying it to myself. But yeah, she said we'll pay for the flights. She said that there would be like a meal included while we were there, an activity included while we were there. She like listed all these places that we could go for different activities. And I remember saying to her on the phone, like, oh my goodness, this is just amazing. And she was like, but you have done lots of travel stuff before, haven't you? Obviously thinking, like, oh, actually, this isn't the person we're thinking it is. I mean, for ages I was thinking maybe they just said, oh, someone just get Jessica Alba or Jessica Biel or something's details of Instagram, and they like didn't look at my pictures and just, I don't know, took my email address and thought it was them. But then I just thought, really, if you know, if I do maybe 4 videos and a couple of blog posts and stuff, then that kind of does justify it. And anyway, so I remember doing a voice note in our family group chat, and I was like, guys, how would you like it if the company paid for our flights for us? And if we got an activity while we're out there and this, and I was saying all this stuff, and literally, like, my brother was in Hong Kong at the time and he FaceTimed me, and then while we were FaceTiming, my sister-in-law FaceTimed me, and I had to quickly hang up on him and speak to her, and then my mum called me, and everyone was so excited. And I just loved that I could do that for my family. And the kids were like the particular villa that we looked at, they were like, we're gonna have our own private beach, and we're all gonna have our own bedrooms, and we're gonna have our own pool. And they were just so excited. And Barbados is where my brother and sister-in-law got married like 12 years ago, I think. And I spoke to the contact about that, and we were gonna go back to the hotel where they got married, like, and spend the day there, and we were going to go go-karting, and there was just loads of fun things that like my family had gotten really excited about. And anyway, that was kind of on like a Wednesday, and she said to me, right, we're going to book your flights on Friday. They didn't ask for like scanned copies of the passports or anything, they just asked for like names and dates of birth. So I got everyone's details, sent them over, and she said, right, we're going to book them all on Friday, everyone's all together, and I'll let you know when they're done. So I was like, okay, great. So on Friday I had, you know, my brother messaging me and my sister messaging me and my mum, like, oh, the flight's done yet, because no one really wanted to get like too excited until they knew the flights were booked. Like, I think there was a part of all of us that were like, oh, it's too good to be true. And honestly, in my head, I kept just thinking she's going to turn around and say, oh, sorry, we found someone bigger to do the collaboration with, or sorry, we don't have the funding anymore, or something like that. And that's it as well. She also said to me, also, would you like to do the same again next year? Because we want the people we're working with, we want to work with again, like as a long-term thing. So you can either choose like another big one like this next year, or 2 small ones. And we discussed, me and my family, all going to the Cotswolds because they've got cottages there for Christmas, and we even spoke about dates for that and everything. Anyway, got to the Friday, and she was like, right, flights are all booked, I'll send you the confirmation on Wednesday. And I was like, oh, could you not just send them now? And she's like, well, you know, I've passed them on to my manager, he's done it all. I'm not working Saturday and Sunday, I'm not in on Monday, because she said that she had 2 small children, which she told me had had chicken pox before, and her husband had had shingles, and we'd spoken so much. I was like, and then obviously I'm in on Tuesday, like, I'll have loads to do, because apparently they were working with a lot of other people. But when I said to her, oh, who? And she said some of the names, I didn't recognise them, and I was so like excited by it all that I just didn't like think to remember their names. And now when I think of it, they were probably just fake names. So I thought, okay, that's fine. Anyway, got to Wednesday, hadn't heard from her, sent her a message, because this is the thing as well, halfway through all the communication, she said to me, oh, my emails are down, so if you just get hold of me on my phone. Which I thought, that's a bit weird for emails to be down on like a big company system, but whatever. So anyway, I sent her a message asking if flights were all sorted, and something just didn't feel right. So I called Virgin, and none of our names were on the particular flight that she'd said had been booked. And then I called the Top Villas main, like, I was say hotline, like their company number, and I was like, hi, can I speak to Jess, please? And she was like, oh, Jess who? And I said their surname. She said, oh no, there's no one by that name that works here. She's like, can I ask what it's about? So I explained, and I said, oh, I'm doing the blogger collaboration. You know, we're going out to one of the villas in Barbados. And she was like, I'm going to pass you on to the like blogger outreach team, but I'm pretty sure that there's no campaigns running like that. So she put me on hold, went and spoke to someone. She came back to me and she said, I'm really sorry, but that person doesn't work here, that's not a real campaign, we've heard nothing about it. I'm not drinking beer, by the way, this is water. And you know, like, I just felt like crying. I'd pulled up outside of Jasper's preschool to pick him up, and I was in the car park and I was just like, I feel sick, I feel like crying. Yeah, and she said, if you forward me on the emails, then I can kind of have a little look. So I forwarded the emails to her, and she replied to me and she was like, I'm really sorry, but like, this is not real at all. She was like, if you look at our email addresses, basically hers was her name, topvillas@gmail.com, which I hadn't even clicked about, and theirs was, for example, name@topvillas.com. So she was like, you know, if you look at our email address, it's very different. She was really, really lovely about it. And she said, if you look at the footer as well, like theirs had the Top Villas logo and links to the website, hers didn't have any of that. And she'd made a couple of mistakes. She'd said, you know, we have over 400 villas worldwide, whereas they don't, they have over 4,000 villas worldwide. And yeah, she was just like, you know, I'm really sorry, but it's not us. And obviously they were upset as well, because it's someone impersonating someone that works for their company, so it could have been really bad business for them. And if I hadn't clicked that she didn't work there, I could have just thought, well, their service is really bad as a company. Not that I would ever then like slate a company on social media. So anyway, I called her number, I left her a voicemail, and there was a very small part of me that was hoping that it's all a misunderstanding. Maybe she's outsourced from another company, because she knew so much. She seemed so genuine. We spoke for so long, and I just couldn't understand why anyone would do that. So I left her a voicemail, and I basically said, I couldn't get hold of you, so I did call Virgin to check the flights. I did call the company. No one's heard of you. No one's heard of this collaboration. I'm just wondering if this is some kind of a mistake. If you could just let me know, because obviously I'm very concerned and I don't really understand why, if this isn't real, you would do something like this. And I got a text back later just basically saying, I'm in hospital, I don't have any internet, I understand your concerns, but rest assured your details have been passed on and you will hear from someone by the end of the week. And me being like, obviously I knew at that point, that's it, this is definitely fake. I just replied and said, I hope you're okay. Can you let me know your colleague's name so that I can chase it up with them, because as I've said, no one at the company seems to know who you are. And I never heard back, and that was like over a week ago. Not heard anything since. So that was that. It was all fake. And I just want to really, really reiterate that I'm not upset that I'm not going to this lovely villa in Barbados. Like, that's not it at all, because I know that like there will be people that will watch this and go, oh, poor Jess, she's not getting to go and stay, like, have a free holiday in Barbados. That's not what I'm upset about. Initially I was gutted for my family, because I then had to leave another voice note in the WhatsApp group and just say, I'm really sorry guys, but your suspicions were correct, it was too good to be true. Apparently like my nephew was crying, and I wasn't upset for like Jasper and Jensen, even though Jasper was like, we're going on holiday for my birthday, because it would have been on his day. He doesn't know where Barbados is. I could drive down the road and say we're on holiday, like, he doesn't know. But I was more upset for my niece and nephew, because they're that much older and they would have probably gone to school and told their friends and they were more aware. And I was upset for my brother and sister-in-law, because they thought they were going to go back to the place that they got married like over 10 years ago, and to show their kids, and yeah, that I just feel like would have been so special for them. And I was really upset. I know that my mum's not upset about this, but I was upset for her, because it would have been the first holiday. See, this is what upsets me. it would have been the first holiday that we would have all gone on since my mum got the all clear. So this would have been the first time that she would have had all of her children on holiday together. And it's things like that, like I said that to this person, she knew about like that the kids were excited, she knew about Barbados being where my brother and sister-in-law got married, so she knew the kind of like emotional side to it, aside from the fact that she knew how excited we were. So that's what upset me mainly. And then the thing that kind of made me like, I don't really get angry, but annoyed is, firstly, was it a scam? Like, they didn't take any bank details, they didn't have like scanned copies of our passports or anything like that, but would they have weeks down the line said, oh, we need a refundable deposit from you for the villa? Or then I just think people that scam people, I don't know, they are what they are, aren't they? And then the other side of me thought, is it a personal thing to me, like someone hates me, or they're just a little bit like, I obviously want to be like politically correct, a little bit crazy, and just wanted to talk to me or like get at me, or I don't know. Like, that is what really freaked me out, and that's why I went a little bit quiet on social media for a few days, because I just thought, what if, like, for me, if I've ever done anything to anyone to upset them, it really bothers me, and I want them to know how sorry I am, and I would never do anything like that intentionally. And I would much rather, like, if it is that I've ever done anything to upset someone, like, just message me and tell me that you think I'm rude, or that you think I come across arrogant, or that you think I come across showy offy, or whatever it is. If we know each other personally, or if it's just through social media, whatever it is, like, just tell me, send me a message, because I would love to apologise, and I would love to understand what I've done. Or if it is someone that just wanted to talk to me and have a chat, then just message me. I'm not great on my messages, but just send me a DM, just say hi, how are you, I want to chat to you, and I would. So that side of things really freaked me out, and I just thought, to be that heartless, like, I'm fine, I'm going on other holidays. Not like if I wanted to I'd go to Barbados, but I could. It's not like an unachievable goal for me. And it's not for my family either, but I just, like, why do that to my family as well as me? Like, why not just say, oh Jess, there's a trip just for you? That bothers me, and then I feel responsible for that, because I was the one to get them all excited and then take it away. None of them blame me, and they feel sorry for me that I've gone through it. But yeah, it really freaked me out at first, and it was to a point I got myself so worked up about it that I thought I hadn't given my address or anything like that. But I remember going and having a shower that evening, and I couldn't close my eyes when I was washing my hair, because I kept picturing a woman just going up the stairs, going in, taking Jensen out of the car. It really freaked me out. I just thought, why is this person trying to get to me? And it might not have been personal, it might have just been a scam, but either way, I felt so like, oh, I don't even want to be online anymore. But yeah, I still don't understand why it happened. I'm very grateful that we didn't give any money, we didn't give any like proper details, and it's not like we'd started buying stuff for holiday and started packing and we're like ready to go. It kind of, it was a few months' time anyway. But yeah, like I said, this wasn't a video to be like, oh, I haven't got a free holiday to Barbados. That wasn't it at all. I just wanted to let you guys know what had happened, and just to warn you guys, just to be a bit more vigilant. Like, if I can take anything positive from this, it's that I'm very careful now. So little things like just check emails, and I'm not saying that if it's a Gmail address it's fake. I have a Gmail address. But just, if something doesn't feel right, and if you feel like something is too good to be true, it probably is. Not saying that like you're not worth amazing things. To me, I did feel a bit like, oh, I'm getting like this amazing collaboration. Am I good enough for that? Obviously, I actually wasn't, because I didn't get it in the end because it was fake. But be vigilant, check emails, check people out on LinkedIn, see if they've got like a logo in the footer, and just be a bit wary. And especially if you're asked for any kind of information. The day after, I got asked by a couple of brands for my address to send me some products just to review. And I admit I did quickly go on and just check that they were legit. Like, all you have to do is put the person's name in and the company name, and it will probably come up on our About Us or Employees page or contact page or something like that. But yeah, just be wary. If you are a blogger, a YouTuber, a social media influencer, then you are quite an easy target. And I don't know if this is like a new thing that people are thinking someone who has a blog will easily give out their address, or if they're a travel blogger, they'll easily give out like passport details and stuff. Just be aware of that. You'll probably be more wary of it if you're not someone who reviews holidays. But if you are someone that reviews holidays, just be careful. Also, I just want to say, this isn't like a hate campaign. I mean, I don't know who this person is anyway. I would prefer it if you could please not put loads of comments you know, saying what a horrible person this is, because they are probably very unhappy as it is. You know, if it was a scam, then they probably need a little bit of help legally. And if they were doing it as like a nasty thing to get at me, or like even trying to be nice to kind of get to me, then they probably need to talk to someone. And I'm not being like patronising at all saying that, but I like clearly like not a very nice or of sound mind person would do something like that. So yeah, I don't want this to be about that. Just, you know, just be aware. If you've been through anything similar, then please do comment below and let me know, because it would just be good to make other people aware. But yeah, the police have been informed, because it did freak me out a little bit. It didn't sit right with me, and obviously I don't want this person to go and do it to anyone else as well. And like the IP address has been logged and all stuff like that, so hopefully they won't be doing this kind of thing again anyway. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked this video. Please do give it a big thumbs up if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time, hopefully not for another crazy story time video like this.